Alright, here's a weird one for you once again. You recall, I believe it was with the swashbuckler, I had access to a secret technique that was to be unlocked at level 2 when we were level 1. Well, that's the same thing here. I was just simply going through. I've got a game that was sent out to me downloading, and that's why I'm not streaming. It's going to take an eternity. It's not a big file size, it's just my download speeds are a joke. And then somehow, like, your 50 megabyte internet plan gets you like 35-ish at your service point at the home, and then by the time you go through the Xbox, it's like 1.2. I've been under a megabyte multiple times when I was checking it, but that's why I'm not streaming any of this. But let me show you. It was weird to me because I'm coming in here, I checked out, pinned everything in for that, and I was like, why is secret technique locked, right? We typically always have 3 and 4 available, which is out of order, but the reason for that being 3 you get when you defeat the Knight Doomlander, which we've done by simply having a Skylander from that battle class. So Aurora essentially would have been, or not Aurora, I guess probably Ambush would have been the first Knight we put down. So that would have unlocked that for us, right? So check this out though. We have access to secret technique number 1, which again should be available and unlocked only at level 2. And then secret technique here, the second one, is level 4, and then so on and so forth. Oh, there's a ground stab, sweet. Okay, but that's an interesting thing there. Everything else, is in place, and so let's just go ahead and do it. Uppercutting sword. I was going to do elemental powers first, by the way, but this was an interesting little tidbit, and I'm afraid when I had level 2 and it unlocks, it would have been a moot point. So you'll see I'm level 1 when I back out of here. But anyway, press Y to knock enemies up into the air. So level 1, nothing done to it. All I've done is gotten money. There's 0 in the XP. So let's see if it works. Oh, I like that. Let's see what it does. Oh, dang, son. 71 on a box stock? Okay. So, once again, level 1, 0 XP collected. I'm using secret technique number 1, which, again, this is something that you should unlock at level 2. And we've got it now for reasons unknown to me. So, the only person I know that was going to try to replicate what we discovered previously with the swashbucklers was Spyro557. I assume if he was able to create that and have the same situation occur, he probably would have said something or maybe just gotten around to it. But once again, this is the first time I have ever created a knight. It's the first time we've ever used a light creation crystal. And we were rewarded with a strange out-of-sequence unlock here. So we'll go ahead and we'll log that, and it's a pretty solid. So yeah, I'm going to cut here. I'm going to go and obviously I document every single attack all the way up to level 5, and then I come bring you along for the ride and showcase everything by the mashed version. So yeah, that's what I'll be working towards, is showcasing the elemental powers first. And then Saturday, hopefully, is when we will see the Knight weapon powers and secret technique. So if you notice, that attack damage was really low though, the 4 on the actual character itself, so that's interesting. But I probably got to get an hour or so of work here ahead of me, so I'm going to get on that. Hopefully that game will download. Maybe I'll have that for you tomorrow, which, granted, if you're seeing this Thursday, this would have been me talking Monday night about Tuesday. But hey, nonetheless, just thought I'd showcase that to you because, again, it is strange, it is unique, it is something that I kind of think is interesting. So it shows up locked here as if we would have nothing. And then our 4 for having a knight, our 3 for defeating the Knight Doomlander, and the first one, which again unlocks at level 2 for whatever reason, is also available here. So hey, I will take it, and I will catch you back here in just a few seconds. Hey everybody, I want to Wiisdom here. 10:04 p.m. Relatively early here for me. I've been working on this roughly about an hour, like I thought we would be. And we had the interesting thing happen when I created this light element knight. We came in and we had access to secret technique number 1, which is supposed to be a level 2 unlock, but we had it at level 1. So of course it's not a huge deal, but it is kind of neat. It's something that's not supposed to happen. It's the second time we've had it happen, first time being with the swashbuckler. But what I need to do here, we're going to begin by showcasing the light element power. So this should be relatively quick and easy to do, which is a great reason to have that tied in at the start of it, just because when you play the game as much as I do and you come across these things that are kind of interesting or not as they should be, I feel like they're worth denoting, and I think people enjoy seeing them too. When we come out of this screen, we will actually be in the middle of an arena battle, and for a good reason. The final elemental power. And this is going to be part of me documenting just the plain Jane level 5 stuff before we cover the mastered version. It is called Luminous Block. It doesn't necessarily involve Luminous, for those of you that were hoping for a cameo appearance type of a thing. It's roughly like a 4-second cover. It deals 11 to 17 4 times. However, as you should know downstairs with the training dummies that are stationary, I don't know what kind of a damage reduction we take. And similarly, there's this caveat that if we are hit while we're holding Luminous Block, there is supposed to be a huge explosion of light. I think that's how they worded it. So we're going to A, see what kind of a damage reduction we get, and then B, we're going to come in and we're going to see what the explosion of light does number-wise. So let's get going here. Alright, so first thing first, who do we have to work with? Okay, he's not going to work well. So let me just get rid of him. These guys will work really well. Not that guy. Okay, what is he going to do to me? That gun. 21. Okay. I want only him to hit me. Dang it, not a chompy. Okay. I've got to get rid of the chompy. Okay. Hit me. You slowpoke? Okay. I've got to wait for him to be. Here we go.
Fight the Skylanders, living the life. Not really.
Yeah, I couldn't tell anything. This is just not working well.
And with my mini charities.
Okay. 5. So that was roughly half the damage. Let me get rid of the spell punk real quick. Okay. The sheep kind of hit hard, which could be a problem. Dadgum. This is great, but terrible at the same time. So I need someone to hit me, preferably that guy. 29 and 28. It was like 2 numbers at once. So, oh dang it. We might die. Okay, yeah, we died. That didn't go well at all. I'm not seeing what they claim is supposed to happen. So, we're just going to try this again. I'll show you what I'm trying to showcase by the text description, and I don't know if it happens or not. It did look to be about half of the, you know, numbers, if that was accurate. I so wish I just had an area and I could come in and select the enemy that I want to work with. You know, I feel like they've made steady progression here. It started sort of with a gumball dispenser of enemies for me. If I could have the fixed dummies and then the ability to select just not even all of the enemies, but just like a chompy and a medium range enemy, and then one that you just have to whale away on for a long time and could test time intensive things on, it would be so fantastic. I would spend untold hours there documenting everything. So keep in mind there will be increased damage here, but maybe we'll just work with chompies if that's what we get. Okay, so what do you do? 38? You gotta be kidding me.
Did they recover from it? Heck,
okay, so those guys can't even get to me. Get wrecked, suckers. You can't move when you do that. That's news to me. I hadn't actually tried that. Oh, I can't level up though.
If there is a more classic Skylanders, I have not heard of it.
This is not good. This is terrible. You know what? We're too close to leveling up. We gotta go. I hate doing it, but I mean, one little deal there, like, I don't know that the chompies would have done it, but if I just happened to kill an enemy inadvertently, or the explosion of light happened and we were close to an enemy, that would bump us up to level 6, and it would absolutely ruin everything that I'm trying to do here. So, let me bring you over here. We've got a light knight. All we've done is get him some cash, now take him up to level 5. His health is 420. His attack is 12. Armor 14. Speed or agility 11, and luck 14. So level 1 baseline is 300 health. We've been going plus 30 every single level. Our attack started at 4, which was atrocious. The good news is we've been steadily gaining plus 2 every single time. The armor started at 12. We were 12 at level 2, and then at level 3 we transitioned to 14. It has not changed since. The speed, we started at 8. We stayed at 8 until level 4, where it jumped to 11. Our luck also started at 8. We jumped to 11 at level 2, and then we jumped to 14 at level 4. So there's sort of the background behind our statistical gains there. And what I'm going to do, we're, again, only focusing on the light elemental powers in this video. And this is luminous block, and that's what I was trying to complete my research on before I would bring you back. And as you can see, you press B to generate energy cover. If you're hit while pulsing, you create a large explosion of light. So here's the deal. That's what I was trying to have happen. Okay, I don't know if the light is going to just stun enemies. We're doing a lot of stunning of enemies with the slight upgrades for like 2 seconds or so. I don't know if it would do that, which would be advantageous, or the way it's worded, I'm sort of like envisioning just this like screen cleaner type of a thing. And the bottom line is I tried to showcase it and I couldn't, and we very nearly hit level 6, which we cannot do at this point in time. So I'm thinking we'll just make do with what we have here, and then maybe when we've... Actually, I can't do it at the end of this video because I need to stay at level 5 to showcase you the night weapon powers and secret techniques. So at some point in time, when I am done showcasing light elemental powers and night weapon powers and secret techniques, we'll actually go in and play with this and see what we can do. But right now we're just way too close to leveling up. So let me go ahead and just showcase. We'll just go in reverse order on this one, I guess. So make it more unique, I suppose. Luminous block, press B to generate energy cover. Again, this lasts roughly 4 seconds. It does 11 to 17 4 times. And if you're hit while pulsing, again, I did not see that. The chompies, even the ones with the helmets that were doing 38 damage, were unable to get to us. So you need a big enemy to showcase it. It looks like we took quite a bit of damage reduction, but again, I'd like to showcase it a little better than we were able to. So let's back out of here and just see what it looks like in this place. So once again, you just tap Y, and whoops, I'm sorry, you tap B for elemental power. You can't move, you can't really, can we attack while doing that? No, can't use our primary, can't use our tertiary. If I tap B again, what happens? Nothing, really. You just trigger it again. So you're stationary, you can't move, but I do think there is a reduction in damage we take. Again, I just can't quantify it yet because of reasons you now know. But point blank range here, if we get right up on this guy, 11 to 17 4 times. Now, in terms, obviously, they can't attack me, which is why I went to an arena and I envisioned showcasing it with you there. I still don't know what the explosion of light is. So we're going to save that. What I'll do, I have plans for this character, depending on how everything upgrades, and eventually we will stylize this Imaginator. It won't just be the starry power person. And when we do that, I'll try to remember to take you into the arena and showcase it. So what we want to do now is upgrade this thing. We need 1500 for the elemental powers, that's correct. Mastered luminous block. Press B to generate energy that slows nearby enemies and always ends with an explosion. Okay. Let's see what that's going to look like. First thing first, let's just tap it. Okay, so it looks way better. I wonder if the explosion at the end is kind of what they were thinking we should have seen there. So this is going to slow enemies too, but do we still get the 11 to 17? Yo, wow, that's way better. Okay. So I'm still going to call it 4-second cover because I genuinely believe we saw a reduction in damage. It was just a pain to get the specific enemy to hit us before something else spawned and hit us, or something is still on the screen attacked us before that enemy. You saw the whole mess. So 4-second cover, 11 to 17 4 times, and then explodes. I believe that was a 168, wasn't it? I guess we should verify before I... Dadgum, I'm hitting Nintendo buttons. Oh, it is 168. Okay, so half of 168 would be 84, correct? 80, yes. So 160 and 80 is 240, 248, 252. So as you can see, this has a pretty good radius with it, and 2, it's just dynamic damage. All right, so we're not going to be invincible. Well, we will be against smaller enemies, but you're not going to be worried about them anyway. But it looked like we would take a significant damage reduction. You're going to deal basically 44 standard damage to anything nearby, and then when it explodes, it's able to radiate all the way over here at the 168. And that's pretty good, 168 to 252. So now, let us continue on checking out elemental powers. And like I said, we'll just do this one in reverse order. So, speed of light. Press B to quickly dash through enemies and send them flying. Now, the send them flying thing, I have already investigated it, since I can't risk leveling up and hitting 6 and skewing all of our numbers here. I'll try to explain it to you. So, if I stand right there, it doesn't go far, and you can't extend it if you hold or anything. This is me spamming it. I mean, I'm just pressing B constantly. So it is kind of spammable. It's nice to have a speed maneuver with any Skylander, in my opinion. But when it says through enemies, you saw me go through this guy and get 9 to 14. However, when there's another enemy like that training dummy to the bottom of the screen, we can pierce through the first one, hit the second one, and again, if there was something beyond him before the dash expired, we would apply 9 to 14 hit points. So, 9 to 14 there. Now, what about the flight, right? You're probably interested in that. Obviously, these guys are stationary, fixed. They're not going anywhere. What literally happens is the enemy gets kind of knocked up into the sky, and then they fall down. This was referencing the rats, which is a pretty hardy enemy. They land on their back, and they are there for roughly 2 seconds. So, dash 9 to 14, enemies up and on their back 2 seconds. That's what it looks like standard. And let's go ahead now and get the upgrade. Mastered Speed of Light. Press B to dash and summon twin suns? What? That hit a bigger area and deal more damage. Okay, consider me interested in this. So, B to dash, it should do the same thing, possibly an increase in damage. But now we're summoning twin suns? Show me. I need to understand this. What? What? Okay, so I was picturing like celestial bodies descending from the heavens and crashing into the ground. I'm not gonna lie. Now that I see this, and my initial disappointment of what I envisioned not happening is here, basically picture each fist turning into a sun as you dash forward. So I would imagine we're going to be doing some pretty significant damage here. 13? That doesn't seem right. Wow. I mean, the way that looks, you think you would just insta-kill things, and we went from 9 to 13. Okay, sure. Why not, right? That's cool. Now, in terms of if enemies fly higher or stay on their back longer, I don't know. I might run upstairs before this is said and done, and we'll take a look at that. So, dash 13 to 20. Enemies up and on back. I'm assuming this will be the same. I'm just going to pin it in, and then we'll correct it if it's wrong. First series of disappointment was, like I said, I just kind of pictured when it said summoning 2 twin suns, I was like, oh lord, you know, we're going to have like this meteor strike type of a thing. So that was a little disappointing, but then it looks like, I mean, be honest with me, does that not look like something that should be doing at least 60 damage? You know, which if you had a dash attack, even though it's short, and you could just do this and run around and evade people while applying like 60 to 90, that would be insane. The 13 is a little disappointing just because it doesn't match the aesthetics, right? So honestly here, I would have been happier if it doubled the length of the dash, or you could hold the dash and go farther type of a thing. But again, we'll hold off final judgment until we've seen what, if anything, it does to the enemies. So what we want to do now is continue backtracking through the elemental powers. Now, if you played as Astroblast, this is probably going to seem pretty familiar. Press B to toss a blinding orb into the air, damaging and stunning enemies. This is probably better than his attack, though, let's be honest. And I am someone that likes Astroblast, so here we go. You throw that up, it's sort of like the disco ball with a confetti explosion. It looks pretty neat. But it's 17 to 26, as you'll see here. It's got a decent radius on it. I mean, it's not too crazy. You can see we only hit one there. If I come down, we're still hitting one. That got both of them. So 17 to 26. And then the thing is, these guys don't show it, but in the arena against a real enemy, you're going to do 2 seconds of stun damage. They just kind of have the stars and big eyes, and they're incapacitated for 2 seconds. So it's not a huge duration of time, but it is something that allows you to get away, make an attack without repercussion, whatever angle you want to throw at it. But let's master this thing. Mastered flashbang. Press B to toss a blinding orb that leaves behind a radiant light pool. Okay, so this could be a game changer for this one. I feel like in its standard form, flashbang is neat and fun, but it almost would be an attack that you just have to be like, wow, that really fits my Imaginator. You know? This could very well change that and make this way more desirable. So, we've got the mastered version here, and let's take a look at it before we look at any damage numbers. 4 seconds, I'd say, is the length there. So I'm assuming we're still going to do 17 to 26, but let's be honest here. The bottom of this thing, that's a pretty good size radius, okay? So if it does anything more than 3 to 5, I'm going to be pretty happy with it. So let's try to just hit one enemy. 6? Okay, hey, I'll take it. 17 to 26. And I'm assuming it would still stun for 2 seconds. It could be more, actually. Stuns enemies 2 seconds. 8 to 12, 5x. So let's do it one more time. There's our 17. 5. Oh, was that 6 hits, actually, of 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it was 6, alright. I may have said that the first time and I just typed 5, I'm not sure. But we have corrected it, which is what's important for the spreadsheet. So 17 to 26, stuns enemies 2 seconds, 8 to 12, 6 times. I might put radius of light, just because it sounds cooler. Now, keep in mind, when we're at close range with enemies, you're going to get, you know, amplified results, right? So anything inside this area is going to basically take 8 to 12. Now, are they stunned the whole time? We're going to find out upstairs, hopefully. Because even though that's sort of a disappointing number for how it looks, if they are stunned for that duration of time, those extra 4 seconds, that would be a big deal. Because again, then you can run around with whatever your weapon powers and secret techniques are for that particular Imaginator, and basically lay waste to anything if that were the case. So, our very first elemental power, again we've gone in reverse order here because we can. It is Rainbow Rampage. This kind of seems dumb, and then the more you use it, you're like, oh, that's not too bad. And I'll tell you why when we take a look at it. But press B to attack your enemies with rainbows. So if you love rainbows, this is going to be great. If you miss Whirlwind's rainbow abilities, this will be good. Let me tell you why this is worth not writing off. And I'm going to tell you that by showing you what it does as I point towards Mac. If you noticed, the rainbow didn't time out here. It didn't time out here. It didn't stop right here. It didn't explode at the stairs. It didn't stop here. It actually goes through the house, okay? It does ricochet too, but you saw that thing cascade beyond there. This thing has what, at least I can remember off the top of my head, as being by far the best range in Imaginators. It is pretty ridiculous. Again, I can stand here at the edge of the world, essentially, and we shoot that thing through that building. Okay. Now sometimes it will ricochet, which is kind of cool. I think it ricochets off the lamppost if I can line it up. There you go. See what I mean? So I ricocheted off the lamppost and then off that sort of like tall cement block back there. And of course now we'll never replicate that in a million years. Probably we would in a million years. Oh hey, so almost replicated it exactly. But it can ricochet, and I tell you that because if this goes according to plan, I'm going to shoot the dummy towards Mags, and it's going to ricochet and hit the second dummy. Now the rainbow burst, or the rainbow, whatever you want to call it, it's going to do 9 to 14. The thing is, it seems every time it hits something, it will kind of explode at 4 to 6. So if this goes according to my plan, we're going to do 9 to 14 on the first one. You'll see 4 to 6 from an explosion on both dummies. And then you're going to see a 9 to 14 on the back dummy. So let's see if we can make this happen. Called it. It's just like playing pool against me. So it looks like a lot, but again, left to right on the screen, you're going to see 6 to 9, 4 to 6, I'm sorry, 9 to 14, 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 9 to 14. So in that gap in the middle in standard form, you're going to see 2 4s. So it's actually not that bad. And again, the biggest thing to not discount from this is the range is amazing. I mean, it is a huge deal. So a lot of attacks, I mean, they would like, let's not kid ourselves, they wouldn't go from here to the dummy. Okay, that does, and it does it very quickly. And I know what your next question is, can you spam it? And the answer is pretty much yes. Now what's interesting is you don't stay stationary. I'm not like pushing on the analog stick. Just whatever direction you're facing, you sort of like step into this each and every time. You can change trajectory, as you can see, but you literally will. If I was to just stand right here and start shooting mags, or towards mags, as much as it will let me, we come to mags fairly quickly as you just inch along. So that is something to keep in mind. As long as you maintain your distance, it wouldn't be a big deal. So we want to master this bad boy. And it's the Mastered Rainbow Rampage. Rainbow and Rampage, 2 words you don't typically affiliate with one another. But press B to attack with rainbows. Oh, it's a charge attack. Hold B to charge a devastating beam. Okay, I'll take it. Let's back out of there. And here's what we're going to do. We're still doing 9. Oh, it's got a... That's more of a lingering effect, isn't it? Nothing changed number-wise, but I don't remember seeing that many stars. But what do I know? So it's 9 to 14, 4 to 6 explosion. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that. And then we're going to semicolon for the good stuff. So I'm going to hold B. That was 10 seconds. We're still holding it. It's not looking like it'll time out. You can't move, but you can rotate a full 360. And let's hope this hits one of the dummies. Ooh, that was 51, but I think it was critical. Yeah, so just basically a 2-second charge time. No? Yeah. The controller kind of vibrates to tell me. I guess is the best way to do it, but let me go ahead and do this. Hold, not holes, 2 seconds. 34 to 51 and 4 to 6. Kind of lame that the explosion didn't increase when you jump from 9 to 34. You know, that's plus 25. I'm just throwing that out there. But let's see. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. So that got it. I'd say it's like a 2-second hold. So that's pretty cool. What I want to do now, though, is check the time. Okay, we're doing fine. I think we had like 5 minutes or so in front of that. And you know what? This is our very first light element. Imaginators, let's go ahead and open the light chest. I believe it's the angel set, if I'm not mistaken. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I need to put this in my spreadsheet, sucker. One moment. Let me slide over here. So, we're going to do light chest, common. Alright, what do we got? I hate how these are never in order. So, head.
Set part found.
That's not really the look I would have thought. There's a couple of heads that I would think are more angelic than that, but whatever.
New chest.
Common.
Set part found.
Chest. Which you can't have if you're a ninja. Frickin' A. You know? Common.
New arms. Set part found.
Arms. One of the things that kind of bothers me is, A, you don't have the ability, like if you threw down a light crystal and you're like, I want to make an angel, I think you should be able to just like default select that entire group, whether it's 2 pieces, whether it's 4 pieces with a bonus, whether it's something that's got like head, chest, legs, shoulder pads, headgear, the whole 9 yards. I think you ought to be able to instantly select that. And the other problem is like, okay, so you're wanting to make your angel after you do this, okay? Just with these 3 parts, you come in and you're thinking, okay, so I need my angelic arms, wonderful, found them. And you're like, I need my angelic head. It's not an angelic head, it's a blonde streak head. Okay, and then you're like, okay, well, I need my angelic chest. And it's like, well, it's a heavenly chest. Which, I mean, I guess part of that might be they're thinking that maybe you, the individual, will be like, oh, you know, that chest would look way better with this head, you know, but at the same time, you would still, even if it was all tied in, you know, like if you wanted to create a Wolfman, but you wanted to make a boar and use Wolfman's body, you're going to do it. So, I don't know, just an interesting little dynamic there. Aren't we missing a piece?
New headgear. Set complete.
Oh, I see. Okay, there we go. So, ultimate headgear. What did they call it? I don't even know. And then ultimate backpack, feathered wings. That's going to be plus. I can't use that, can I? Speed 25. I have to accommodate for Excel's tendencies here. Speed 25, luck 25. Wonderful. I'll get the name of the headgear. It's not a big deal. But the light element characters I'm planning to create, while they might be heavenly in nature, I don't know that I'll use the arms, maybe. I just don't like that head for an angel, you know? But that's just me. We'll figure something out. I do have quite a few plans for light Imaginators, but backing on out and going on in, that's what we're going to do. We've got to subject this training dummy to yet more torments. So, it's your favorite part of the show. There's the demon set, so it's kind of the same setup, 4 parts, and then the ultimate there. I guess this one had the ultimate headgear, though. So. And you know, there's some pretty evil looking pieces that we've already kind of got. I've not put a dark crystal on the portal, so. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We've got this bad boy. So it doesn't stun him, it sort of slows him down. Now let's see what this one does. Oh, that's talk about knockback, buddy. Haven't had much knockback in this game. They don't seem to use that terminology, so I want to denote that. So, that's worth talking about in my opinion. So that is our first elemental power, fully mastered, Rainbow Rampage. Now we want to look at mastered flashbang, and what we were curious about here is if that light is going to do anything. No. So he takes like the first 2 seconds, and then he's kind of like back at you. So it's still pretty cool though. Case in point, let me get 2 of these guys and showcase that. So I'm under attack, I panic, I use the elemental power. They're stunned 2 to 3 seconds. And then it's just, so while they're stunned, I mean, you just get free reign on them with your other attacks. So it's pretty sweet. That is good to note though. What we want to do, and again, I apologize that I can't do this in the, arena, but like I said, I cannot risk hitting level 6, because then I'd have to do this all over again to showcase the weapon power and secret techniques of the knight. Mastered speed of light, press B to dash and summon twin suns. Looks amazing, but it should do way more damage than it's currently doing, so, Yeah, but I think I can showcase this. I told you that when we dashed through them in the arena, the enemies wind up on their backs for like 2 seconds. So let's see if it's an increase. I'm going to let him come all the way over here. Come on, a few more steps. No, 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 no. No. As you were. Okay, here we go. I think the switch got in there. You get the idea. I mean, he basically goes up in the air, and then he's down, and it takes him a while to get up, and then you can do stuff like that. The attack looks amazing, and an attack looks like it should not be doing 13 to 20, but that's pretty much it. So, that's kind of unfortunate, really. You still dash, though, so it's got that going for it. After that, we've got the Mastered Luminous block. So, this is the one that I can't really say we've fully covered just yet, but B will generate energy that slows nearby enemies. We're going to get to showcase that for the first time, and it's going to end with the explosion. So, here we go, a new test dummy. Then this very well may kill it. Almost. And that does have knockback, too. And you see how effective that is. It just basically eradicated him in 1 1/4 cycles, I would say. But yeah, this is our light knight. Those are the light elemental powers. I think they're pretty decent, honestly. So it's going to depend on the character I create, what do I assign them. If I want to go defensive, luminous block is going to be the way to go. If I just want a quick dash, even though this looks like it should be slaughtering things and only does 13, the fact that it is a dash and involves speed salvages it for me. Mastered flashbang is actually not that bad, and you get the 2 seconds of stun. So whereas that you can dash away from, this is going to do way more damage, and you buy yourself 2 seconds of time anyway. And then this is honestly just a fantastic ranged attack. So in the case of a knight where everything is pretty much close quarters, or maybe a brawler that's got close quarter attacks, you're able to add this in as an elemental power, and you've got sort of the ability to then have a ranged attack instead of just being close quarters all the time. So there's lots of options here. I don't think any of them break the bank in amazement or wonder or anything, but they're all pretty solid in their own right, and I can't really complain about that. So, that said, the next video we should be going through the knight weapon powers and the knight secret technique, so you want to stay tuned for that. But at the start of this video, again, I realize it's a secret technique, but I'm going to put it with this one just because we'll probably spend more time on the weapon powers and secret techniques than we do with the elementals. So, that said, if you remind me, I will try to remember once we've fully customized this character and we don't really care about keeping them capped at level 5 anymore. I'll go ahead, we will run in and we'll try to investigate luminous block as best we can. Also, what I'll do the next time I create a light character, I won't have to document them per se, and I'll just come in and continuously test luminous block until I can see if I can get the explosion to happen. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a little something. If so, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you are subscribed here on YouTube. Similarly, follow me on Twitter. I will always tweet my videos, and I will always tweet before I go live. I am, as of last week, I was made an affiliate on Twitch, which doesn't really change anything at all for me. But if you're someone that's like integrated into that ecosystem or something, feel free to check it out. You should follow along there anyway, because that's where I'm kind of streaming. The YouTube issues I had with streaming, they don't archive correctly, and they never fixed it. And then the bigger thing, I don't know if I can stream Nintendo games to YouTube, and no one will answer my question. So as a preventative maintenance, I'm just streaming them to Twitch anyway. So that's a thing too. Plus, it's where Reset Me was born and where I've historically streamed all the Skylander stuff. But nonetheless, SkylanderClub.com is a forum. If you have not signed up there, I encourage you to do so. If you do and I don't activate your account, just leave me a comment or hit me up on Twitter. As soon as I finish all of this research, I will start publishing my spreadsheets. So if you're someone that's into the numbers, if that's what's brought you to the channel, or you want like a quick reference without having to watch a 30-minute video, and you're just like, okay, I need to see which elemental power gives me the greatest, number of, hit points type of a deal, that'll that'll be a great resource for people. Again, there is no strategy guide, so I'm kind of trying to do what I can to fill that void for you. But once again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you back here Saturday for the next installment of Skylanders Research. Adios.